So I'm going to go ahead and stop running this. And what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be creating some very specific roles for our application. So when we have authentication that's built in to MVC, it automatically creates an ASP net user roles table and an ASP net roles table, but there is no code to use them. So we're going to cover the code that you need to actually utilize the tables. So to create roles, we have to modify our startup CS file. And that is in our root directory. It's located right above web config. Let's open that up. Right now, the only thing in the file is a configuration method, and it calls configure auth, which is, and it passes it app. So we need to add to this, and there is quite a bit of code. So I am going to go ahead and just copy paste this code. The code is actually adding user roles. So I'm going to paste right over the top of this. And so you can see we kept the initial configure auth, but we also added a call to create roles, which is an internal method or function that we created, and it's private. So this is the only place it can be accessed from. And this is where we are creating our user roles. And so you can see that we have a new object that we're calling context. And we create a role manager. And it's checking to see if we have a visitor role, and if we don't, it adds it. And then it checks to see if we have an administration role, and if we don't, it adds it. Checks to see if we have a manager. If we don't, it adds it. Same with a user. So basically, those are going to be our roles: user, manager, guest, and administrator. And let's go ahead and save and run a build. And for this, just running the app is going to create these roles. Okay, now if we exit out, we should be able to go into the SQL Server Object Explorer. And if your tab isn't here, you can go to View and select it. And let's take a look at all of our databases, and I have a ridiculous amount. And I named this one Authentication 2. Yours is going to be called Authentication 1. Let's take a look at all of our tables. So the one that the roles are located in is ASP.NET roles. So if we right click and view the data, okay, you can see the roles that we just added. Okay, our next step is going to be actually assigning those roles.